Hello and welcome back to Sin, where we say start it now. Whatever you have in your mind and that is going to have value to you and the society at large, please start it now. But here we talk about retirement and starting those retirement planning now. At Sin, it's your guide to securing a financial free retirement in Nigeria. I am Olufunke. Thank you for joining. And today we are talking about something that will change your life and the way you think about retirement forever. I mean, forever. Retirement isn't about stop working, it is about making your money work for you. I guess you got that. Do you dream of a retirement where you don't have to worry about money? Imagining receiving steady income month on month without lifting your finger, without waking up early to catch that bus, without waking up early to take that drive, that long drive. It's doable and it is very possible. In today's video, I will break down the best investment that can pay you even after retirement. If you're serious about living comfortably in your later years, keep watching and subscribe. What retirement really means? Many Nigerians think that retirement is about stopping work and depending on pensions and their children, but that is risky. The cost of living keeps rising, and relying on just your pension and your children can be detrimental and not enough. So, do you ever think about it? Why do wealthy people retire comfortably until their deaths? They are very okay. The sole reason is because they have investment paying them money. And that's what I want you to do today. But before we go further, think about it. How do you want to live your later years? It's a question I will always ask. As I earlier said, today we'll be talking about investments for retirement income. And I have classified those investments into 5 buckets. The first one is going to be rental income. What is a rental income? This is owning properties that people pay you rent for every month. In Nigeria, it's yearly to secure your future. If you buy a house and you live in it, you're not getting any rental income from that. What gives you rental income is the one you rent out. So I told one of my friends, because you bought a house, that has not made you a landlord. Because you're not lording over anybody until you rent it out for investment purposes. That is when you have become a landlord or a landlady. Choose one. Imagine if you buy a house now and it gives you 500 monthly income when you retire. That means that house is just giving you 6 million per year. If you divide that by 12, you get 500. And the truth about it is, to a lot of us, we think investing in property is so expensive, we can't do it. I'm going to concentrate on that today. But let's continue. I was talking about investments that you can do that will secure your future. And I've said I was going to put it in 5 buckets. So I've just spoken about rental income. The next one that is going to be in that bucket is dividends. And that is when you invest in shares, you get dividends. When you buy shares, please, before you buy those shares, do your research. I'll also talk about government bonds and treasury bills. Government bonds and treasury bills. I also talk about annuity and pension plan. I will also talk about side businesses. But today we're just going to concentrate on rental income. I know a lot of people think it's very difficult or is the cost for owning a house is much, but I want to tell you there are many ways you can go about it. If you want to go far, you have to go with a lot of people. So I say that to say to you, what do we do? Do you work in an organization today or you run your own business? In that business, do you have some form of network? Two, three of you, five of you. In that organization, do you have three, four, five of you there that you can trust yourself? So that's where I'm going. And you want to get a property. For now, don't do it alone. Think of doing it with somebody. The popular Esusu, Ajo. You come together. You have a target. You want to get a house. And maybe that house, because you're coming together to buy it, of course, you're going to rent it out. Of course, you're going to use it for some form of, you're going to put it out for some form of rental income. So I advise, maybe about five of you come together and bring 10 million, that's 50 million. Look for a flat somewhere. Please, when it comes to property also, there are three things that is very important. And I'll tell you what those three things are. One, location. Two, location. Three, location. The location of a property commands what it will be paid for and what income you will get from it. So I say when you're buying that property or you're coming together, think of the location and what is all about location. So what it means is that if you get a house in Lekki, the rental income you get from it will be far higher than somebody that has a house in Ikorodu. If you get a house in Surulere, the rental income you get from it will be far higher than somebody that has a house in Agege. So when you're coming together, come together with like minds. Know where you want to get this property. So today, let us just talk about getting those property. You don't have to go alone. Let's think about doing a susu. Five of you come together. Bring, haven't decided where you want this property to be. Now, how much is the property? It's going to cost us 100 million. And we have five of us in this that has come together. The five of us should bring 20 million. In short, because 20 million, the property is 5 million. You're going to pay, we're going to pay the agents and the other fees that we pay. So we come up with 25 million each. When we come up with 25 million, that will come to about 120 million, right? With 120 million, you get a flat. I say a flat because I'm thinking of Lekki. I like the rental income that is, really nice. Get a flat. Do you know what happened in 30 December last year? Go ask those that have shortlets. They made a kill. Let's go back to what we're talking about. So five of you come together and you decide to get that house and you put it out for rental, you put it out for shortlet, and you start making money out of it. You don't have to start big, but the five of you can form a club and call it Investment 101, Project 101 to get a house. And by so doing, your plan is to save towards getting a house. Are you just starting your career? You are quite young. You can do that now. You can just come up with your friends and say, every month we do 500,000 savings or something lower. It doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is save towards getting a rental income. A rental income. And rental income only comes from properties. I won't advise you to go and do car hire because there's rental income there. But transportation, it takes a lion heart to do that. Let's concentrate on the one that the risk is very minimal. So let's do, what do you call it now? Let's do property. So my darling, let two of you, five of you, 10 of you can come together. It's a matter of trust and know where you're going to. And the earlier you start it, the better. And believe me, let's assume, it's an assumption, that 10 of you came together and you were able to get a house in a good location that gives you a good rental income. And 30 December, you're able to make a kill. Whatever income you're making from that that property now, you're not going to spend it. You're going to now put it in a savings account, which means that when you all come together, you should have formed a company. I advise that you do it in a company's name. You form a company, you register the company, you all be directors in the company with equal shares. Then, when you buy the house, you open an account, you register your tax, your TIN, because Lagos State is not playing with tax now. If you're in Lagos State anyway, but any part of Nigeria that you are, let's be good abiding citizen and pay our tax. So you register and you open the account. You can't even open an account in Nigeria today without a TIN, tax identification number. So you get that, you get it going. All 5, 10 of you start saving towards, you put a standing instruction on your current account that takes the money into that corporate account, and you start growing it. You give yourself a timeline. You might not necessarily start today, but some of you can start today. Some of you, because you want to go alone, that's why that money is just sitting there. Go look for like mind. You don't have to go alone when it comes to property. You can start with 2 or 3 people. Later in life, you start going alone, I can bet you. But at least start now. Let's commit that sin together now. You get what I mean? So you come together, you put the money together, you give yourself a timeline, and by so doing, you've been able to put the wealth, and at the end of the day, you get the property and you start making rental income. The rental income that you'll be making, you're not going to spend it. You're going to put it in an interest-bearing account, and you continue to grow the wealth. You continue to grow the wealth. So maybe your first 5 years, you have just one property. In another 10 years, if you're very good with what you're doing, you get 2, 3 properties. Because you're not spending the money, you're still in active service. And what have you done? You've created rental income. So let's say you have 3 properties, all 5 of you or all 10 of you, and the property gives you an annual income of, say, 20 million, that's 60 million. While you're still active, you can still raise money and put it into it and buy houses. Continue to invest in those rental properties until you start nearing your retirement age. And I can bet you, if you come together, we call it a susu, and 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of you do that, and you have a plan, I can bet you in 5, 10 years, you'll be shocked at what you would have achieved. And you'll be shocked at rental income you're bringing in month on month or yearly. I want you to take your retirement serious. I want you to look at it the same way you look at life. And I can tell you, if you have like minds, you can become property guru without knowing. You start buying those land and you start preparing to be the Donald Trump of our time. As long as you all have like minds, look around you. You have friends that you can do this together. It's not all about talk. Let's commit the sin together. Let's take action now. Let's get rental properties that will give us rental incomes. If you're living in your property, you don't have a rental income. Let me bust that bubble. Thank you for joining us today. And next week, we'll be talking about stocks and dividends, how to buy shares and how to get dividends from them. Bye.